Mamelodi Sundowns on Saturday won the South African top flight for a record 4th time in the last 6 seasons, making them the most successful SA side of the decade. We shall be taking the temperature of some key championships on the continent as we have sports reporters on standby to wrap up the leagues on the continent. Mohamed Salah and Liverpool failed to stop Manchester City from winning the English League, but the Egyptian, alongside Senegal's Mane and Gabon's Aubameyang, all finished as top scorers with 22 goals. And then, as usual, we will take a tour of African performances this weekend in some European leagues. Thanks for honoring our invitation on Africa News. Football Planet is on air. Sundowns coach Pitso Mosimane became the first coach to win the Absa Premiership 4 times with the same club, overtaking Gavin Hunt, who led SuperSport United to 3 league titles. A 1-0 win over Free State Stars on Saturday crowns the Brazilians for the 9th time with 59 points, 2 ahead of runners-up Orlando Pirates. And now, as we promised, we take you over to Ivory Coast, where sports reporter Adama Khalil will be giving us updates about the local championship over there.
Et il faut dire que depuis une semaine déjà, le championnat de Ligue 1 ivoirien a...
It must be said that a week ago, the Ivorian League One Championship ended.
Omnisport désormais qui a été sacré champion cette année. C'est une grande première.
And the championship was won by Société Omnisport Army, popularly called SOA. The Military Football Club emerged winners of this year's league. It must be noted that their achievement is the first in Ivorian football club history. For a military club to be crowned champions, their victory was celebrated in the presence of the Minister of Defense, Ahmed Bakayoko, alongside his whole staff and entourage. So this team will represent Ivory Coast for the first time in an African football club competition, specifically the CAF Champions League next season. In all, a total of 14 clubs competed in the Ivorian League. The top 3 clubs were SOA, followed by FC San Pedro and ASEC in 3rd place. ASEC Mimosa will represent Ivory Coast in next season's CAF Confederations Cup.
La Coupe de la Confédération et représenter la Côte d'Ivoire dans cette C2 africaine.
There is a balance at the level of the top scorers in this year's championship. 4 players emerged as joint top scorers, as they could not be separated. They scored the same number of goals in the just ended championship.
L'année prochaine, c'est une grande première dans l'histoire du football ivoirien.
Now, Henry Asante is with us from Accra, Ghana. Thanks, Henry, for joining us. With all the challenges of the Ghanaian FA, what is making news with local footballers?
So it's been 11 weeks of fierce action on the domestic front here in Ghana. The Ghana Premier League ended abruptly last season because of the announced expose into corruption in the country. And for the past 11 weeks, we've been witnessing some good football from all the 16 Premier League clubs. The teams have been put into 2 zones. We have the Northern Zone and the Southern Zone. The Northern Zone has Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, and Hearts of Oak also find themselves in the Southern Zone. Yesterday, the 11th week of games were played. Accra Hearts of Oak beat Dwarfs by 2-1. Liberty won 3-1 against Elmina Sharks at home. Dreams FC they won against Inter Allies by 1-0. And also we had Karela United beating Wafa by 2-0. In the Northern Zone, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, who played in the Confederation Cup, fell to Ashanti Gold by 1-0 in Obuasi. Former champions Ediana Stars also won by 1-0 against Bekum Chelsea. And the leaders in that particular zone, Midiema, fell to a own goal against Bechem United. What that means is that Accra Hearts of Oak is leading that Zone B table followed by Karela United, and Wafa sit in third place, and Liberty Professionals in fourth place. In the Northern Zone, Mediama lead the table. Kumasi Asante Kotoko is in second place. Diana Stars is in third place. And we have Ashanti Gold sitting in fourth place. There will be midweek matches for week number 12 on Wednesday. The two teams from each group will qualify into semi-final. And the winner of Zone 1 will meet the runner-up in Zone 2. And then the runner-up in Zone 2 will meet the winner in Zone 1. After the semi-finals, we will have the winners progress to play in the final. The winner of that final will represent Ghana in the CAF Champions League for next season.
Now, the Nigerian Premier League is also on our menu today. Alonge Akinlolu comes in from Lagos with the updates.
Okay. After week 19 of the Nigerian Professional Football League played on Sunday, in Group A, Enugu Rangers, Lobi Stars, and Enyimba are the top three teams, while in Group B, Aqua United, Kano Pillars, and El Kanemi top Group B. But where the attention seems to be right now is in the relegation zone. Vikitori, Squara United, Niger Tornadoes, and Remo Stars have all to play for through the last three games of the season. In Group B, Yobe Stars, Gombe, Abia Warriors, and Go Round have a difficult task also to make sure they win all the 9 points left in the 2019 season of the Nigerian Professional Football League. At the end of the season, the top three teams from each of the groups will actually get an opportunity to play in the playoff to determine who is going to represent Nigeria in the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. As regards the top goal scorers, Aqua United top striker Ufoundo, who happens to be who holds the record of the most goals scored in the MPFL in a season, leads the goal scorer stats with 9 goals. After this, Aqua United seem to be in the right form, and they seem to be having one of the hottest strikers in the Nigerian league lead the pack right now. Apart from all that, that's basically what's happening in the Nigerian Professional Football League.
All right, next door in Cameroon, Douala-based sports journalist Michel Ateba is on the line. Thanks. Bring us up to speed within the next 2 minutes.
This year, the Football League experimented with a new formula, namely the pool stage. Each of the pools had 9 teams at the end of this season's championship, which started in February. 6 teams, namely Cotton Sport of Garoua, Dragon of Yaoundé, APG d'Imfou, who emerged as the first 3 clubs in Pool A, while in Pool B, the teams were Fuche FC of Mbanju, Star Rena of Melon, and UMS of Loum. So these 6 teams will play in the playoffs. The playoffs started on Sunday, May 12. The top 3 clubs in the playoff will represent Cameroon in African club competitions. That is how the Cameroonian Championship this season panned out. It should be noted that the issue on the number of teams that will be relegated to the second division. In the Premier Division, they think that only 1 team should be relegated, while Fekafort thinks that 3 teams should be relegated. That is basically how the Cameroonian Championship went about.
A 4-1 scoreline sanctioned the last game of the season for Manchester City as they beat Brighton away to be crowned champions for the 2nd time in a row. Liverpool won their home game 2-0 against Wolves, but that result was almost insignificant owing to City's win. Sadio Mane scored both goals for Liverpool to end his season with 22 goals. Same for Mohamed Salah and Pierre Aubameyang. Manchester City finished on 98 points, just 1 above Liverpool on 2nd spot, while Chelsea and Tottenham complete the top 4 with 72 and 71 points respectively. Algeria's Riyad Mahrez joined the party as he scored Manchester City's 2nd goal of the day and has now won the English Premier League 3 times, once with Leicester City and twice with Manchester City. We begin our African-Europe Express in the German Bundesliga, where Ivorian striker Salomon Kalou continued his fine form from last weekend as he scored twice for Hertha Berlin in an away 4-3 win at Augsburg. It was his 8th goal in 29 matches for the season. Nigerian striker Anthony Uja scored a brace within 4 minutes to hand Mainz all 3 points in an away victory to Eintracht. That was on Sunday, with his 4th goal of the season. He still hopes to make a comeback with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. In Italy, it took the Moroccan midfielder 31 league matches to come up with his first goal of the season for Sassuolo. The midfielder's goal was not enough as his side lost away to Torino by 2-3. In France, with 2 playing days to go, Chadian striker Casimir Ninga was on target for Caen and his 6th goal of the campaign as his side edged visiting Stade Reims 3-2. Moroccan midfielder Faisal Faj, who scored last weekend, also participated in the victory with his 5th goal of the season. In the same encounter, Mali's Moussa Doumbia also scored for Reims. It was the midfielder's 3rd goal of the season. Senegal's Ismaila Sarr opened scoring 15 minutes at home with his 7th of the season, but his side's lead was later cancelled out in the second half by Guingamp to share the spoils in a 1-1 draw. In Spain, Villarreal moved up to safety with another victory thanks to Cameroonian winger Karl Toko Ekambi, who moved into double figures for the season as his lone goal was the decider in a 1-0 home win against Elba. With that, we come to the end of today's show. Get more sports news on africanews.com. From myself and the team, bye-bye for now.